All this music in my ear gets me home for the night.
No spicy, only regular. We made it.
You trying to say? I think I'm sick.
This guy's shaking it for real.
Get the barbecue sauce, get the roll, tie yourself up. I'm a base dude. I don't just your chicken.
Everyone's got something to say, so come through and say it, players. Shaking It Podcast.
Camera is rolling. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Let it out.
Go!
Let it out, Gilleon.
I was super amped, yo. Listen.
Yes, sir.
Listen. Season 2, episode 1, we're fucking here. And I'm not supposed to swear too early, but here we are. Yo. I'm amped. I'm so sorry.
You're supposed to wait at least 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's okay, man. It's done.
30
bro.
seconds, he's already
What's
swearing.
done is done. What's done is done.
Say no more. Well, here I am, man. King Sully, your host with the most, with our big boy, Gilleon, a.k.a. Big Jigga.
Big Jigga.
Big
we here.
Jigga.
Yes, sir.
Spending
we here.
cheese.
And we got a sicker one today.
We have two special guests. Two special guests today.
Sir.
So first of all, got big bro right here.
What's happening?
Patrik Kabongo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
already know.
Yes, sir.
And also, you could like, here, just come in real quick. Just come in real quick. Like, go cut, like, stand up, come, look into the camera.
Give him a
real
little
quick.
smile. Don't kill me.
We got Patrik Kabongo
sir.
and Jay
Yes, sir.
Kabongo.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, that's me.
Sir.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, it's gonna be a crazy one today, guys. Crazy one. Season 2.
excited.
It's already
We're
crazy.
starting off strong.
Yeah.
First things first. We got three mics that are looking the same.
Yep.
No more, dangly mic. People
none-
can't really
none of
talk
that
into it.
shaking
We're on point now. We're not gonna be
shaking
shaking it like that anymore. And the king finally has his throne.
Wow.
We got a new chair, man. I'm
King
feeling
Sully.
good, It was from the proceeds from season 1, so
That's what's
we
up.
were able to buy
So you guys raised the money for the seat?
Nah, bro. We
to be
were.
honest, we panhandled
We
it.
panhandled.
Yeah, I respect it. I respect
That's
it.
how we got the chair, but
What?
we're here, man. I'm feeling good.
We're here, yo.
And it's good. It's lit, man. I'm ready.
So before we go any further,
Yes, sir.
TikTok, follow us. Shaking It Podcast. IG, Shaking It Podcast. We're actually doing decent. We're actually doing all right. The reels are actually, we're getting a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8K
Yeah.
of views.
Yeah,
We're making
facts.
it now. Just keep following. Please
liking.
keep following. We have a 6-month plan. Achieve the 6-month plan. Keep following. We're trying to make it. YouTube. That's where we post a full vid. Look at it there. We also post little shorts, little clips on there too. Look at that there, man. Season 2 are coming strong.
100%.
Now, Spotify and Apple Music, we're there too.
You guys got
Look
playlists
at
on
it
there
there.
too?
We're there, yeah.
We're
Wow.
there.
What,
We're there.
You guys don't have like a website for all this stuff?
No, not yet.
Guys, yeah, that's the next move for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We need a website for sure.
Yeah. Put
I
all
mean,
that stuff on
we'll
there,
have that.
connected, yeah, for sure.
Merch coming soon.
100%.
Yeah, merch coming
Merch
soon.
coming soon.
Shake it till you make it.
Shake
We're
it till you
here.
make
Wow.
it. Shake it
That's
till
the
you make
slogan.
it.
That's
The
the
That's
new
the
branding
slogan.
is
That's the
tough.
new slogan. Shake it till you make
Shaking them off, breaking them off.
Holy. Okay. Yeah,
Shout out,
this episode
yeah.
is crazy. It's crazy. All right.
So, let's get it started with a little introduction. Patrik, please
Yeah.
introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah,
Those
name's
that don't know.
Patrik Kabongo. Torontonian to the death of me, downtown to be specific. Shout out Spadina and Queen. Rapper, songwriter, artist, creative director. Started Extend Entertainment with my team. Been doing music, I'd say, for at least 11 years at this point. Israelite, husband, hopefully a great brother, a great son, great uncle, godfather, and just avid student of the game of life. Sure. God-fearing man, And so that's who I am. Obviously, before that, make sure you guys follow me. All social medias, X10PK, at X10PK. And yeah, fam, we're here with the boys. This is the family. I feel like I'm in the lounge. Got my little bro here with me. And yeah, no, it's been great already being here, man. The conversations we had so far, and I'm very honored to partake in the first episode of season 2. And yeah, it's gonna be a good conversation, great conversation, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. And yeah, it's an honor to be here.
Appreciate you, bro.
Sure.
Appreciate you for real. Thank you for being our first guest of the season.
100%, man. 100%.
So listen, Before we get started,
Yeah.
or before we go any further,
Yeah.
we're bringing back the Shakin' a segment
Okay.
of the day.
Yeah.
It's where you tell me something or you tell
Yeah.
us something.
Yeah.
Where, somebody, something in the world, something that's shaking it.
Yeah. I would say what's shaking it right now is the overwhelming social catering to sensitivity. And not because sensitivity isn't to be respected, because obviously some people are more sensitive than others. People have traumatic experiences that make them more prone to sensitivity. But there's also people that have traumatic experiences that have overcome those experiences. And so I don't want to say they've hardened themselves, but they've kind of, I call it the it is what it is syndrome. Like you live through life, you have two options. You could complain or you can complain and overcome. Right? And so I find people that have that it is what it is syndrome, they've accepted the situation, the experience, and they've added it to their character. And so the caricature of who they are speaks volumes. They could face a situation and say, I could complain, but you know what? It is what it is. We're going to keep moving. And so the reason I feel that situation, the sensitivity is shaking, is because I find it can become very unfair and almost oppressing, to the point where now society has decided to shift their care and cater to a population of people who aren't able to feel the world for what it is or to accept people for who they are. Now, I'm not saying that there should be, if someone makes derogatory comments to you, I don't think that's fair to just have to accept that, right? That becomes abusive. But there is an oppressing power when you create terms, societal standards that are catered for a group of people. And like I was saying before, if that's the case, if we're going to cater to people, why don't we cater to everyone? Typically, Black Lives Matter came. They were trying to cater to black people, or at least we thought they were. And we found out that they really weren't. They were catering to corporations that were going to be
Making
a profitable amount off the situation, right?
Yes, sir.
And so that's my problem, and I'm sure you guys all have a perspective, which I would love to hear. I find that it's just too much regulating takes away authenticity, and when you regulate things too much, you lose identity. And so someone who, if you tell someone, or better example, when a baby cries, if you always go and cater to the baby and say, oh, here you go, that baby is going to become accustomed to a certain entitlement. Like, and not just as an infant stage when they get older, right? That's how people become entitled. They've been catered to their entire lives. Whereas if a baby cries and you cater to it one time, leave it in the crib, it cried out, fall asleep. There's a difference there that the baby is actually becoming more resourceful. And of course, the baby doesn't fully understand. But when you get older, you've already taught subconsciously to this child or this human being that the world doesn't belong to you. There are objects that are part of it that you can grasp and assign to yourself. If your parents have good opportunities to help you and stuff. But I just find that it's unfair to everyone if everyone gets everything. And so I'll end it and give you guys the floor. It's because I wrote this poem. It's called Safe Space. And the premise of my poem is, welcome to the safe space. Oh, you just can't worship God here. You just can't be poor here. You can't claim that you have a lot of money here. You can't be heterosexual here. You can't be a married person here. And you can't be black. And so the character asks, well, I thought you said it was a safe space. Yeah, it's a safe space for everybody and nobody. And that's what society's become now. It's not a safe space for anyone, for that matter. But we continuously try to regulate certain demographics or certain populations to make it seem like it is. So I don't know what you guys have in terms of thought on that. Unpacked, eh?
That was a lot.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this stuff these are things we have to talk about.
It's true.
These are things we have to talk
Nobody
about.
wants to have
No one wants to have the conversation because
scared.
yeah, because the thing with me is I respect people so much that I try to be as self-aware as possible for what I say. Because what I'm saying now, it's not attacking anyone. It's laying out what needs to be discussed. you can't be mad at me for reading a dictionary and giving you the definitions of what the dictionary says. Exactly. How you resonate with it is actually more a personal response than it is my subjective opinion of it. Right? And so, for me, I just feel people need to be more honest about what we're talking about. Like, you're mad because I don't support this, but then the same principle can be applied to the worst of things.
100%.
Sir.
Oh, you don't support the KKK? Oh, horrible human being.
But yeah, like when you look at it, it kind of is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Just twisting
Somebody
it
that
around.
Just twisting it. That's all it
because
is.
somebody that does support that
Yeah.
will look at us and be like, "Yo, what are you talking about? What
Exactly.
do you mean you don't support that?"
Exactly.
And I guess they have every right to say something like that.
Yeah.
If we have the same right to say.
Exactly. And that's the thing. We all have the same. That's what's equal. We all have the same right to speak. We all have the same right to speak. Where that equality leaves is how much value does it have to the social world. Like, let's be very honest, right? You put me, a black man that grew up in the projects, with a white man that grew up in the suburbs, and you put us in, and obviously not who I am now from everything I've learned, but at face value, you're going to take what that person says as value first because of the appearance. Society, like socially, not, and as a generalization, not in context of a specific situation, because that could be that could
yeah,
be
I could come here and say, yeah, definitely not. I'm definitely taking what you're saying.
Absolutely. But in a general world, if we're including every continent, or if I should say universally, my voice is not going to have the same value as a white person's voice, at least a white male, right? So we all have the equal right to speak. The equality then is dispersed when it becomes about, well, what has more value, right? Because now you have non-black people that are speaking about black issues.
How do you feel about that?
I'm not going to lie to you. Personally, I don't believe in allies. I don't think it's a thing. I don't believe in that, because that would be the assumption that, and I'm not saying that like I hate white people or people who aren't black who are supporting it, but the concept of an ally would mean that what you do has value, and it doesn't. It has value to you and to me in our relationship, but it has no value to the social world. How many non-black people come out and speak for black people, and what actually changes? Zilch. Nothing. Racism is still there.
Yeah.
Black people are still getting shot in a grocery store. It changes nothing. And that's what I'm saying. We're selfish human beings because we love the perception of what we do and what we give to the world. Right? Yeah. My little brother said something to me. He's like, you know what? Which was a joke. He's like, oh man, one day they love you, then you're on a t-shirt for maybe 2-3 days, and then that's it. So when people say, when they say legends never die, yes, they do. They just don't die. The memory doesn't die in a certain group.
And sometimes it dies in that certain group too, man.
Exactly. So for me, it becomes, I don't have a problem with white people, non-black people within a setting of non-black people to express themselves about the problem that non-black people can cause for black people. But if you got to read the room as well, like there are enough, and you don't have to be you don't have to be the most intelligent person to speak on black issues as a black person. You're going to be considered the problem as you're alive already. Your experiences are going to be that educational component. Right. And so for me, my only problem with that is I think people just need to start reading the room and stop assuming that claiming you're an ally, it actually changes something. It doesn't. It doesn't. Right? And what makes it worse, which was the Black Lives Matter moment, is people are sensitive to hearing that. Like, oh, it's not because I'm not black that... No one's saying that. But read the room. Do you think your information is more important than a black person's experience to explaining it? Most likely not. Because there's always going to be that discrepancy between your reality and mine.
100%.
Right? So it's just that. It's like we can't be sensitive to it. We have to accept some realities, man. Like some reality, not even some. All reality is there to be confronted. The choice is whether you, in your sensitivity, if you're choosing I can't handle it, that's also respectable. Some people can't watch movies with blood. Some people can't see people bleed. That's okay.
And you want to know what they do?
Yeah.
They take it off.
Yeah. That's a
They take it off
that's a
and
perfect segue into
and
that.
they don't complain about it.
They don't
just
complain
take
about
it off
it.
and say,
It's like,
I
can't see that.
can't see
do it,
that.
yeah.
That's it. Oh, I can't. Horror movies, the most popular movie in the country. I don't like horror movies. I can't watch it.
That's respectable. Yeah, you're
And
right.
that's respect. No one's gonna get mad at you. If we're in a room right now, and people are like, yo, did you see that video? That guy that got shot, that girl that got killed. Yo, put that on. There might be some people like, what? Nah, I don't want to see that. Leave the room. No one's gonna judge you for that.
No.
But no one's catering to you either because you have the choice, right? And that goes back to what I'm speaking of the population. If there's a population that wants something more than another group, you always have the choice. Where it becomes too much is when now we have to force cater. And like I said before, if that was the case, the world should be better for black people. But it's not. And what do we live with? The reality. We have to live with that reality every day as black people. Or visible minorities, I should say. Right? So that's my take, fam.
That was well said.
was well
Hopefully.
Nah, definitely. We're definitely
So-
getting canceled now. We're finished now.
Honestly, I feel like if the cancel talks get trending with my name, I did something right.
Bro,
I did something right.
there's no way you'll ever get canceled for this.
Because, and the thing is,
You know what I'm beginning to actually realize a lot?
yeah.
A lot of people actually agree with a lot of the shit.
Yeah, they just don't
They're
have the
just-
kahunas to say it.
Yeah, they're just
that's
scared
all it
to
is,
say
yeah,
what
that's
it
all it
is.
is.
Bro.
Speak up.
That's
A
all
lot
it
of
is.
people are
Oh,
very
no, I'll let him speak up, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll like
Yeah,
piggyback-
but-
and then I'll piggyback
on
after
him.
after he says it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've
but
been saying
after
They start screaming.
after they see the reception of
Of
it.
course, yeah.
After they see the reception of it.
But
Right?
even I think at one point you got to sit down and just be like,
Yeah.
what this guy is saying isn't that bad, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Really sit down and
yeah.
really sit down,
Just giving
take
you
your
the
emotions
entire
out of it.
perspective, yeah.
And just take your emotions out and just listen.
Yeah.
Listen sometimes. That's all you have to do.
And that I can understand
at
is
the
difficult
context.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it is
see-
difficult, but
Look at the context.
look at the context of what he's saying, bro.
Yes, sir.
That's the most important thing, the context of what we're saying. And that's what sucks. That's what's the most important. Sorry, not sucks, but that's why communication is so important. Right?
But communication's tough.
It is, but that's why it's so important. What do they always say? What's that saying? Nothing worth it ever comes easy.
It's true.
Communication is worth it. It's not easy.
Yeah.
We speak. It's not even just about. Like for example, I could start speaking French in here, and only one person's gonna understand me.
I'm not gonna understand it one,
Nah,
two.
come on,
No,
don't do
nah.
that.
I want to swear words, you know?
Yeah, the
wanna
funniest.
say it,
The funniest thing is when people just hit us with the je ne sais quoi. It's like, what's the context of that?
Yeah.
Again, it goes back to the context, you know. So, some people speak different languages. Some people's terminology is different. For
You
example,
say shaking it. You say I'm staffing it.
I'm staffing it.
Which
Yeah,
I
that's
like.
copyrighted. That's shaking it and staffing it, copyright. Don't get sued. Don't get subpoenaed. I'm just telling you. You know what I mean? But it's true. It's language barriers. Even, and I'll break this down later with the music thing. In Montreal, there's a huge, I don't want to call it a conflict, but it's hard for a lot of English artists to blow up in the city because of the language barrier. Because there's so much French radio, French television that don't play those English artists. Whereas here in Toronto, we're kind of lucky. Actually, we are lucky because our infrastructure is way better. Canada needs to have a better infrastructure for music as a general thing, but we have artists that at least are exemplified within the city. You could have The Weeknd, you could look at Tory Lanez, you could look at Drake, all these different things. So to kind of wrap around my perspective of the sensitivity is all is fair in love and war. And war is not an easy thing to go through. And to have war and to have peace, you need to have war. You need to be prepared for war. So we can't say that, oh, but it's not fair, it's not equal. We know that.
It's
not,
never
it's
been
never gonna
equal,
be.
though.
It's never been equal.
It never has
Never.
been.
Never.
Just have to adapt.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's. I don't think in the world ever it's
Ever.
been 100% equal.
Ever.
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 There's always like an imbalance in some
Yeah.
part of society.
Yeah.
Or culture, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes
that's
we
the
don't.
thing.
Sometimes you might not feel it.
Yeah,
But
it's not affecting us directly.
it's just not affecting us.
Yeah.
You just
Until you
never
find
know.
yourself in a circumstance where that is
Again,
your reality now, right? Like we went to French high school where we have uniforms. That's creating the perception of the visual perception of equality. Okay, well, we have this school. You can have the poor kids come here, the rich kids come here. You guys are all gonna look the same. But fam, when we get out of that spectrum, the lives are different. Like you're not gonna have to worry about the same things I'm gonna have to worry about. And again, someone could listen to this and say, "Oh, why is he attacking rich people?" I'm not attacking rich people.
If you take that as an attack,
That
it
goes
just
back to
says
what
something about you, though.
exactly. Because now with that sensitivity, we've created an entitled group of individuals where if I don't like something, you need to adhere to my standard. Well, why don't you adhere to mine? It goes back to the identity of choice and communication. How can we communicate so that our boundaries are respected? And that's what people don't want to do. And that's the
scared.
problem.
They're just scared.
Honestly, I don't even. Yeah, maybe it's fear, and maybe it's fear on a deeper level. Because if you're not, one thing I admire that I had to learn a lot, just with having a lot of siblings, is my emotional intelligence. A lot of people are not emotionally intelligent, so when they hear sensitivity, they're just like, "Oh, that's it. No, I'm with these people. You guys shouldn't be doing that." But the emotional intelligence is identifying why are you guys like that? What is it exactly that I said that made you like that? And how can we have a communal space where I can still feel accepted and comfortable in this area and respect your boundaries? And how can you do the same? Because, they say the divorce rate is 50%. Now, obviously, there could be a amalgamation of things to why that is. But I'm pretty certain the biggest part is communication.
Always is.
That's the reason why relationships fail for the most part.
100%.
Lack
Yeah.
of communication.
Not even
And
just
even
romantic.
and even single people, what are their biggest complaints? Oh, I want to be with someone that's not going to cheat. Or why don't you just tell this person you're just looking for you're not really looking for a relationship? I don't know. It's like what? Like
Yeah, just say
the
you're
most
just trying to
basic.
slap.
Yeah.
What'd you say? What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
Just say I'm just trying to slap.
Nah,
it's
but
that.
obviously,
But
that's
why,
mad hard.
but why do people not say that? Because they're afraid of the reception.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It goes back to that. It's that same communication piece.
Yeah. Hey, man.
So-
I feel like if the world, if we were able to communicate, life would be blessed.
I actually think so too. I actually think so
But-
too.
Life will never be blessed.
Never.
Ever. And if it is,
The world is doomed.
Yeah, for real, man. If
The
somehow
melancholy.
in our lifetime
Yeah.
we can find a middle ground for everybody,
Yeah.
broski.
It'd be different, but it's impossible.
That's impossible.
You want to know
Yeah.
why?
I genuinely think it is impossible.
It's impossible because that means that people are gonna have to give up their benefits,
It's true.
and that's why the term. Till this day, people can't seem to figure out how to resolve double standards. If you ever really think about that,
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
like. What do you mean by that?
He was waiting for his time.
No, but it's that. It's like, why can't we figure out why can't we agree to double standards? No, but because I'm this. But you guys, everyone said they want equality. So wait. So we want equality, but we're not willing to make the sacrifices to give us equality. Okay, I got it. Okay, makes sense.
Well,
Makes sense.
It's crazy, man.
And remember what you said before? Do you hear how crazy that sounds?
Crazy. Man said, "Is it juice or is it rain?"
Yeah,
that
like
was funny.
it's like, oh, it's raining. I don't know. Maybe it could be juice.
Nah, that's ridiculous.
That's how ridiculous that sounds. It sounds like that. And that's why I was explaining before that moment in 2008 when am I talking too much? I started realizing I need to educate myself on myself.
100%.
How can I regulate myself to not say too much and also say what is needed to be said? Don't just talk just to talk. Mm-hmm. And now I'm speaking because the topic of discussion is something that no one talks about. And if you've ever noticed when people talk about it, and respectfully, I think it could have been at some point there'll be rooms where, because I feel like I can agree that a lot of people here are not 100% sensitive, might be sensitive to certain things, certain topics, but I think everyone here is real enough to be able to hear the spiel,
Oh, 100.
right?
Jay?
100%. He be dropping, yeah, we be dropping that Spielberg. I be talking that Spielberg, right? But when we talk about the balance, it would be how can we get sensitive people in the room to have this discussion with them, right?
Okay.
We crushed them.
Oh, shit. Straight.
That's what you want to say before? That's how you dropping that Spielberg right now, man. No, and it's that it becomes having the right demographic in the room, but then again, it's hard to do that because that would be the essence of catering yet again. So I think what's actually more necessary is if you're in a demographic, educate yourself, have the conversation, leave that conversation and let it be available for people to discuss further as well.
100%, man. If you can't handle it, get the fuck out.
It's true.
Doors that way.
100%.
Yeah, like the door's right there, man.
True. And there's windows too, so.
Jump
Nah,
out.
being serious. And that goes back to the choice. It goes back to the choice.
Yes, sir.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not sensitive to certain things.
There's
Like I
certain
said,
things,
we all
definitely.
have traumas. I hear something like, I don't really feel good. Like, I don't watch horror movies. My spirit is sensitive to that,
Pro.
right? So
Facts.
I'm not going to sit here
So
and
you're
say,
not gonna sit down and
change
put it
change
on?
the flick. I'm gonna do something else,
Yeah.
right? And again, I just
What
think
happened to that? What happened to just
it's the over
removing yourself from a situation you
That's
don't
what I'm
want to be
saying.
around?
That's-
It's not
fam,
that hard.
and
I
that's-
do that all the time.
conflict. That goes back to the same thing again. The choice of conflict resolution. Like, think how people we always see these things. Oh, this guy got shot. This happened. And I'm gonna use the context of men.
Man.
How many conflicts could have been resolved without one person just saying, "Yo, what are you saying then? Yo, what are you trying to do about it?" Just walk away.
Yeah.
There's a choice. You literally have the choice to walk away.
You can walk away every
The only
time.
thing that's keeping you there is your ego.
I was about to say.
That's it.
Pride.
Yeah, your pride. That's it. Is your pride worth you losing your life? Personally, I don't think so. Yeah. Only if you're a big cat.
Oh, we know a little bit about cats, right, Juwan?
Yeah. Yo. So I said meow, bro, for real. No, I was like, this guy's a crazy soundbite, bro. So for me, it's that. It's just, and to the people at home watching it too, have these discussions in your circles. Women, even with children. Parents need to be able to have these discussions with their children because children are the most sensitive people in the world. Rightfully so. They have no actual experience
Of the real
attached to
world.
anything socially to the world we know. And when you teach them, they're going to pass that information is going to be programmed in their minds and in their behaviors.
that word.
Yeah, 100%.
Programmed.
Yeah, we got to get out the matrix,
my
man. We
goodness.
got to get out the matrix.
Programmed.
We got to get
Yep.
out the matrix. Because people, we have negative connotations to things, right? Like you hear a program, you're like, oh, he's a sheep. No. Program yourself to be disciplined. Program yourself to be righteous. Program yourself to live in truth.
So you have to unlearn, essentially.
You have to unlearn. Because a lot of things we've learned, remind yourself too, you have to ask yourself who taught us.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. You know how crazy you look when you're the student in class correcting the teacher?
Oh, yeah. Teachers hate that.
I told my teacher in grade 1.
Teachers
I feel like you're
hate
going to say
that.
something mad reckless.
I told my teacher in grade 1.
I'll stutter you.
According to the Songs of Psalms, or
Oof, that's
in
my
the- in
books.
the Bible,
Yeah, that's my books.
that Jesus couldn't have been white,
Yeah, we know that though.
and I got in trouble.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
word?
see?
Yeah, and because my uncle taught me this, right?
Yeah.
Because he's like, "Yo, read that," and
He looks.
page.
so I read
he
it.
He looks like us.
and I was
fam.
like, "Oh yeah, you
That's
know,
fact. That's fact.
What did they say? The
Was it
hair,
hair like wool?
hair like
Hair
wool or
like
something like
wool?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hair like
No
wool.
blonde hair, blue-eyed man has hair like wool.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Maybe Will
So,
Ferrell. Nah.
You know what though? Yeah, maybe
Nah.
Will Ferrell.
But
still.
Jesus is not. Will Ferrell ain't Jesus.
Yeah,
so.
facts. No, but
But it's true. So, no.
I got kicked out. I got
Yeah.
kicked out in grade
That's
1, and I told
crazy.
him, and then he came back and paged the
How-
teacher.
That's crazy that in grade 1 you already had that information. I learned that like
uncle-
way
yeah.
later.
Yeah, his
That's-
uncle, crazy uncle.
Yeah.
He's a
Like,
crazy
the way-
uncle still.
yeah,
He walks like
he's a
Vince
great
McMahon.
uncle.
Nah, don't bring up Vince.
He walks like
That
Vince.
guy's facing the charges.
Oh God.
I'm sorry, I gotta be the one to tell you.
I already know.
But that walk, that walk,
Walk.
yeah.
His uncle had the same walk.
I'm gonna inject. Yo, J Body, yo, please bring that down for us, bro. This guy, yo, we're in the weight room, he's killing it. He's like, I've built it. If someone's gonna kill it, it's gonna be me. Yo, my brother be doing that, I'd be crying, bro.
That's crazy.
I'd be crying, man.
stuff.
So it's that, it's true. Even that, right? Because it's not the most popular opinion. I learned that in my late 20s. Crazy. Oh, Jesus is one of us? Right.
Or maybe
No
not
wonder they
even
don't believe him.
necessarily, not necessarily like us.
No,
But-
he was definitely like us. Yeah, he was definitely like us. It's written in there too. His
Jigga,
skin.
he was fairly dark.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Scriptures
Big
talks
Jigga.
about it.
Like,
Yeah,
he was
big Jigga.
like, big Jigga. I'm so sorry. Oh, okay, it says he has skin like burnt copper. So you threw a penny in the oven,
That's crazy.
Call that makala.
right?
That's crazy.
Cause that's one of my favorite ones when your uncle said that. Cause I was like, it is a rapper that says when I was young, I thought the world was alright. It's funny. I even thought that Jesus was white. And in the song, he's talking about what he had to unlearn from wrestling being
Yeah.
fake to his mom saying if you point at the automatic door, it's gonna open because his finger.
Ah,
But, but Jesus is like he has woolly hair, and then we're presented the dude with the cowabunga long.
Yeah,
legs.
bro.
Yeah,
Like,
said the
like
cow-
Matt Riddle from WWE.
yeah. They made
I don't
him
know
at
who that is,
Hollywood,
but
bro.
yeah, the man said the cowabunga guy.
He looks like a heartthrob. Like it's like a
Like he's surfing.
yeah. With the deuces too. They give me deuces.
Peace to the gods.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but you know,
But sure,
like
you
my
gotta start
teacher was
learning.
mad offended,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then I got paged.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, it's here.
in there.
Like I'm literally
Yeah,
pointing
it's
at
in
the
there.
thing.
You're
It's like,
6
yo,
years
it's
old,
right
right,
here,
John?
bro.
That's what I'm saying.
About
Grade
6.
1 is
I'm not
wild.
even trying to antagonize anything. I'm just
Grade
saying
1 is-
it's written right here.
And you wanna know
so,
what's
like,
crazy?
how are you telling me no?
And you want to know what's crazy? That even that brings it to the example. So you have one person that has this truth, right? Instead of getting mad, it's a kid. He doesn't know better in terms of how someone can react to him. Getting mad at him is that's the easiest way to get out of it. So the teacher and the system itself is sensitive to having any other opinion than what they're teaching. That's weird.
Super.
School, and that's when I just remember, you know, when you get older, you learn school is under the premise of an institution.
Oh, I'm glad you
So
said
is
that.
jail.
I was gonna say that there's comparisons.
So is jail.
Yeah.
Could you imagine they gotta sit in for let's say what school's like what, maybe like 5 hours, 5-6 hours out of the day?
Yeah.
You're sitting in there, okay guys, time for recess. Go outside of recess. Come back inside. And I'm not saying you shouldn't go to school. I graduated university. My little bro did.
We
A
all
lot of
ended up
people
going to
did.
school.
Everyone did. Everyone went to school.
I dropped
There
out.
is, fam,
No,
but
I'm joking. I'm joking.
about to say-
I just wanted to be the odd
Hey.
one out. I dropped out.
no, like
No, I'm playing.
there's something to be learned and taken and not taken for granted from the institution of education. I can never diminish that because I think it taught me a lot of values. But to only assess that as the greatest form of education is crazy. It's crazy to me. And then what makes it worse is you've been institutionalized to think that getting a diploma is going to get you the best job. And then you go out in the world, and then now they tell you it's not really what you know, it's who
It's
you
who
know.
you know.
Oh.
That's weird. So now all of a sudden the perception changes.
Yeah. After you lost all your money, all your time.
Yeah.
effort to get your degree.
And what's
Imagine you didn't meet anyone in school. Now you're fucked.
exactly.
Now you're
Exactly.
fucked. And imagine you weren't even the most social individual.
Exactly.
Going into something that
You're
you
already
need
at a loss.
social
You're
outlet,
already at a loss.
taking an L. If you're a doctor or something like that, I actually think that's very different. Very, very different.
Like if you make it through,
Like if you
Become
make
a
it through that
doctor?
whole thing, yeah,
I
you
rate
know?
that.
It's bro, I
That's a
could
different-
never
that's a
do that. Your
different, you know?
brain is different at that
Yeah.
point. You know what I mean? But like,
So let's go on that topic then. What about the Africans? And I shouldn't even generalize it. I'll use let's say
visual minorities.
someone from Cameroon
Yeah.
who's a doctor in this country and comes here.
a doctor in Cameroon and comes here
Yeah.
and has to work at Sport Check
And yeah.
That's crazy.
because that's all they can get.
So
and
the
they're,
so the point I'm talking about is, it's true that for us conceptually, you're different, but is it really different when you come? if it can't translate elsewhere, is it that person's fault or is it the society's fault?
Society's
Society.
Right?
Well, I look
and that's
at
what
it-
I'm saying. The value changes.
fault. I look at it like this. I know a lot of like international students
Yeah.
that are coming here.
Yeah.
Bro, when I was in school, an international student was doing like he was helping me with math,
100%.
helping me,
Oh gosh.
helping me.
This guy cheat.
He
like
was
a
getting
dog.
100% every test, and I'm like, bro, because this is the first time I'm learning this. He's like, I learned this in grade 6.
Yeah, the school. First off, we're not gonna talk about the school system.
Oh, yeah.
Anywhere else in North America, I went to school in the States. My English history teacher said we are the dumbest people on earth. he's like, not you. You're Canadian. You're not you.
Oh, but the American like school system.
He said
Yeah.
I think I was maybe 9. No, I went in
2008.
2008, turning 18.
Crazy.
I'm in class in Florida in history, and this guy said to the class, I hope you guys know we are the dumbest people on planet Earth. And I was like, wow. It's like our country educationally is horrible. And the truth is, if you go look at the stats, it's factual. I don't even think they're top 5, top 10 smartest people, smartest countries. I don't know if it's the same now, but from when I checked it at least 2-3 years ago, they weren't even top 5.
America's top heavy though. They have some of the brightest
Yeah.
people, but everyone else is just.
America,
Where are the brightest people from? That's the question you gotta ask.
and be mindful too that, and outside of America having debt, and when I say America, I just want to say United States. They're also the greatest they have the greatest saturation of markets ever. For example, the perception of artists being big, and I'll use musician artists because I like for myself as an artist, it's easier to blow you up there in terms, and when I mean blow up, it's not making you having longevity. You have it looks like you have a machine to make you look larger than life. But the real artists are those who sell out internationally. Right? So for me, when I look at it, it's market. United States is a marketplace country. That's what it is.
Capitalism.
They are capitalists. Not only do they cap, they're a cap. Not only do they cap, they're the perfect example of capitalism at its finest. Like, how are you in debt and still
Finessing.
finessing?
That's the only word you can use.
You know, it is what it is. And then the unfortunalities with Canada, we like to follow them, you know? So,
Yeah.
what can I say? My teacher said we were the U.S.'s top hat. I felt so insulted. Until the
That's
years
a
passed and I'm
super
like,
diss tip.
until I started passing, I'm like, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No, definitely not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Toronto, man. We are the states.
We are the states.
We are the states
We
of
are the
Canada.
states.
We
It's
are
true.
the
Yeah, like 10 years
the
ago,
metropolitan-
Toronto was like super New York.
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah,
and now Toronto's
that's true.
super like UK or London.
UK
you
and
know?
LA.
Crazy.
Very UK and LA.
follow Batis.
Do you-
Crazy.
Is it because we follow, or is maybe we're close in culture, like with London? At least with
I
the
wanna
UK,
say
I would say
with
close in
London, we're
culture.
Close in culture.
Yeah,
Very similar immigrants.
because London,
similar slang.
London has
influences.
a huge. They have a lot of. They're very multicultural over there.
Yeah.
So I would say that maybe that's kind of similar, but
But the New York way was
It was
straight
crazy.
following.
we had
Straight.
the big
What was the
jerseys.
word you
We
said
were
earlier,
wearing. We're follow
Follow
Batis.
Batis.
I love that word. That's a great slang word.
Nah, man. So that for me, it would be that. It would be the importance of creating I don't want to say a safe space because no space is actually safe, but I would say we need to have this conversation. Like this has to be as uncomfortable as, oh my gosh, is he breaking up with me?
Your heart has to.
Or, oh my
sink to
gosh,
your
what have I done?
ass.
Yeah.
You know
what
that
it is?
feeling
Yo,
when your
have a seat,
stomach just
have a
goes
seat, let's
straight
talk.
To have
down?
this combo,
Oh.
though,
Yeah.
people need to be mature. And a lot of people
Broke that down for
that
me.
are walking around are not mature. Like
Yeah.
they're not honest with themselves.
Yeah.
They're definitely not mature to
Yeah.
even have this actual crazy conversation.
Zero self-awareness.
That's what I'm saying.
They like.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
And let's say you're having a convo and something slips up and then you do get a little triggered. How do you react?
How do you react? Well, as our brother said, there's no emotional intelligence amongst these people, so they're either gonna cry, shame you.
Yep. Shame you is the number one.
Yeah. Like they'll just flip it and be like, "Yo, this guy."
Yeah.
I hate this guy.
You're sexist. You're this. You're
a bigot.
homophobic.
Spell homophobic. You know what I'm saying?
The crazy thing is, even with homophobia, I'm not afraid of gay people,
Ooh, because phobia is a fear. It's true.
but I'm not afraid of you.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of them.
Like
It's true.
I'm not scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm really not. Like where I was working at, I have no issue. If that's who you are, okay, pride, sure. But to have the flag all over the place in a classroom where kids are in that classroom, it's you're indoctrinating them to dabble in something they're not even aware of.
Yes, sir. I love that word, by the way, indoctrinate.
Yeah. He be reading for real. He be reading for real. Yeah.
This guy's good.
He's good.
He has to have his own episode. Holy
Yo, if you're about it.
No, it's that, and it goes back to like children. Children should be exempt because they don't know the world. They don't understand it yet.
Definitely.
They're being programmed by everything that's outside to teach them one or the other. And at one point, they'll be able to say, "Oh, I identify with this truth. I don't identify with this truth." But we're in a world because of that. Like I was saying, that over sensation of
Like catering.
it becomes we're force feeding things to people. You know, so and listen, if your kid doesn't like broccoli, there's a bunch of other vegetables you can give your kid. If you only have broccoli, explain to the kid, we only have broccoli today, and I'd really like for you to take your vegetables. Now you're giving the kid a choice, and that's why like our nephew, I don't raise him like as an uncle in my part in raising him. I don't talk to him like a kid. Like I have to talk to him like a man. I told him, you're not a kid, you're a man.
That's good.
You're a man.
Yeah.
Because your way of thinking now is actually, you might not know, but it's going to affect how you think later in life. So if we're babying people like we are doing now to grown adults, what have we really, how can we be proud as a society to say this is where we're at now? Where we've decided to accept everything without an actual discussion about it. We're falling between the cracks, man. Like we're not permitting each other to grow, one, intellectually, and obviously spirituality comes in the midst and the mix of all of it. Mix.
What? That was insane.
What just happened?
Nah,
was that?
broski. Nah, you just came for the vibes, bro.
Good, man. That's
Vibes.
what is going
You got check my catalog. You guys will understand, bro. I'm being so real.
We'll learn.
So so it's that. So I like for us, especially you guys as conductors of space and conversation, it's your job to be able to have these conversations. Sorry, it should be as part of your responsibility because it's not your job. You can hate your job, but a responsibility, you have to be able to accept whether you're going to do it or not.
Oh, we're not releasing this.
Right?
We're not releasing this episode.
That's his responsibility.
It's my responsibility to keep everyone under the, I don't want this out. This is too real for the masses. They don't want to see this. I'm sorry. So you know what? We're just gonna wrap it up right now.
This is a great conversation, and this could easily be like an 8-hour conversation.
Absolutely, for sure.
You know that.
That's why it's good to like saying like you cut certain pieces. People are gonna at the end of the day, people are gonna take what they want to take, right?
100%.
People are gonna want to hear what they want to hear. But I do think my message to get across is let's stop dancing around things. Let's actually talk. Let's actually talk. You don't like me? Why don't you like me? I can live with the fact you don't like me, but you can help me be more aware of myself if there's something that I'm doing that you don't like.
Facts.
Now, if you don't like me because you don't really have it, I don't know, I just don't like you. Well, I don't.
There has to be a reason though.
It's
You
weird.
know what I mean? Cause and
Yeah,
effect.
because some people don't like things because other people don't like things.
Follow bodies.
It's kind of going the road. So
Yeah,
man, that would be my. That's how I would break it down in terms of like
But
the.
sometimes it could be projection. I can't suffocate my essence because I'm afraid of swelling your insecurities. I can't. If I walk in my
Swelling
life,
your
I walk in my
insecurities.
essence, I walk in my purpose. I'm encouraging you, enabling you to know that this is possible.
Sir.
Like it's all fun and games until I see somebody do what I want to do. Like if I'm with my bro right here and we're in the gym, or if we're in the studio, I want to rap but I don't know how to. And then I watch him rap. I'm like, oh, it's possible. It's over. Like, how many people say I want to be like Mike because they saw Mike do it?
Solomon. He loves Michael Jordan.
So now
King Sully loves Michael
now
Jordan.
King Sully loves Mike. You see what I'm trying to say? So now he's aware of the fact that it's possible because Mike could do it. There was nothing special. Gary Vee was talking about it one time with Kobe, the trainer on the LA team. He said there was nothing special about Kobe. Like, he wasn't the fastest, the strongest, the X, Y, and Z, but he just started working at it.
The mentality.
And then that's it. And then all he saw was just, it's possible.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. I'm like, it's possible. If I walk in clarity and I'm walking in purpose, and you don't like me because you're unable to do it, you can ask.
You know what it is? People will see that. They'll see that aura. See, I don't want to sound like super spiritual man.
No, see what you gotta say, brother.
They
Yeah.
will see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because they don't feel that same way. They want to get at you for it.
Yeah.
And they want to be angry at you and hate you for it.
Yeah.
But what happened to, like, why can't, instead of me getting mad at you because you're a sicker man, why can't I sit down and be like, yo, how could I be like this guy? Why can't
exactly.
people use that as motivation to better themselves?
Yeah.
Instead
Or-
of sitting
yeah.
down and being like, yo, fuck this guy, bro. Like, this guy's trying to move greasy.
I'm just buying a hat. I'm moving greasy.
Now I want to sit down and get cheese. Nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sit down and better yourself so you could be
Similar.
like, you know,
Yeah. And if not similar, a better version of
get
yourself.
just a better version of
The
you.
first thing I told Big Jigga.
Big Jig.
The first thing I make, I'm filling your hat.
Yeah.
Like, I love hats. Then I saw the Raiders, then I saw the cactus. I saw it's supposed to be a cactus, but
I have the cactus one too. This is based off of the LA. Yeah, exactly. You already know. I didn't even have to tell you. I didn't even have to.
I'll be reading more. it's like that. Just ask.
Yeah.
Have the
all it is,
conversation.
man.
Just ask. So that's when I really start to pay close attention. Because I will not suffocate.
I rate that.
How many of us know people who suffocated that which they know to be true or their essence because they wanted peace to somebody else? So I'm making you proud, or I'm pleasing you today because I'm suffocating myself today. Same time 10 years ago, that's what got me to where I went wrong in life because I took one time to suffocate myself, and I suffocated myself forever.
Yeah.
Fold once, fold forever. Compromise once, compromise forever. It's
true.
If I tell I don't want to date. Oh no, why? You date the other girl. Okay, fine, I'll date you too. Then I date this girl that I'm not supposed to. Then I date another girl that I wasn't supposed to. I date another girl, and then I'm losing my essence because I catered to you. I catered to you. Who's gonna cater to me? When am I gonna cater to myself? When have I ever been loyal to myself? If I have a fever, I go to work. I'm ready to die right there, right then, but I'm still going to work. For the love of money.
How did he drop that in there like that, bro? What? Yo, bro. Yo, the way this guy dropped it in there, wow,
You know,
bro.
It's like, bro, I'm going to work, but
Yo, Jay, you're a sicker
they're
guy.
not,
He was
they're
right.
not loyal to me. They're not loyal to me. I love what I
sorry.
do. My bad, dog. It's like they're not loyal to me. Today I go to work. I'm gone tomorrow. Fire me. Don't pick up my contract. Exactly. It's always stuff like, oh man, we won't forget you. Thank you for all the vibes you brought.
Vibes.
But then after that, that's it. Like that's the end.
I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah. We got you. We got you.
The moment I hear that word again, I'm
got you.
saying it with y'all.
Say it
Yo,
live.
I'll be honest, they do it quick. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. 100%.
Oh,
Back like 5 more
vibes.
seconds.
I'm ready.
Because honestly, they're just gonna remember me for the vibes.
Vibes.
Yo.
I rate that.
After that, that's it. So when you were speaking about the maturity, have that conversation.
Yes, sir.
And when Big Jigga was saying, yo, be aware. Awareness, being cognizant. I just want to emphasize on being cognizant, but as men. We as men, when we walk into our purpose, what we know, where we're going, and what we have, you can't stop what won't stop. Because at that point, it's you are now walking in like your truest version of yourself. And that's a journey that you have to, it's continuous. I know that. Like you have to walk into it every single day of your life. You're choosing. Like you're really, really, really choosing. I'm only saying this not because I read about it. I've watched this man live it in the projects.
In my projects.
Every single day.
Has to.
Every single day I watched this man do it. This man was out there skateboarding. But everybody's playing ball. Why can't I play ball and skateboard? He went to go and play hockey.
Wow. Facts.
Everybody's still
Shit, I
playing
didn't
ball.
think about
Why
that.
can't
That's a
I
big
play
point.
ball and play hockey?
Wow.
He wants to write poetry. Why can't I kick it with those guys and then come home in the room and just write? I like Gundam Seed. I like anime. I like Lupe Fiasco. Everyone else
Paris,
around was
Tokyo.
sitting there. I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that all of a sudden, it's like, why can't I? Why not? It gets uncomfortable first in the beginning because you might not have the verbal, the emotional maturity to express it.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
But the more and more you walk into it, you become who you really are. Like, you know that expression, oh, yo, be who you're destined to be. I'm like, why? If I can just be who I already am. Because who I am, my destiny, is already within.
Ooh, that was crisp.
Yeah,
That was
right?
proper.
Yeah,
We had some technical difficulties. We are back.
Now we're back in the mix.
Yes, sir.
Mix.
Fuck, I missed it again, man.
100%.
Fuck, that's so sick.
That's actually crazy.
I wish they were like. I wish Jay was also on camera so you
yeah,
could see how that happens.
He's an
but
incognito man, this guy, bro.
That's crazy, bro,
Yeah.
man.
Stop.
That's crazy.
So Jay, finish up what
Yeah.
you were
Purpose.
just saying.
That's actually funny.
I was gonna let him talk, but then
No, it's actually funny. He said,
he lost- he just started dying.
purpose. Purpose.
Walking your own purpose.
yeah.
Walking.
No, I was saying more so, just as men when we're walking on purpose.
Right.
You know, we have that. I have this conversation with my brother. Well, also because he's a married man. Right? I'm an aspiring married man. So this guy's a married man. My older brother aspired to be married. My younger brother also aspires to be married. Like, we all just walk in purpose. Like, I'm not born to just be a bachelor for the rest of my life, and then the generations after me have nothing or are non-existent because of me. And like, all the gifts, all the blessings, the essence, DNA stops with me. And that's crazy to me. But then we're speaking about essence, and we're just speaking about men being able to walk and not just walk freely. Oh, because I'm a man. Right? Just because I'm a man. It's like, no. So many things can distract men. Things, cars, money, my job,
Some pokes.
women, opportunities, fame.
Savvy.
If we speak about that, I said men get it based on true story, because men get better over time. You don't get better with time. Sorry, you get better with time, but not over time. I had this conversation with my older brother. I'm like, you can't wait for time. Time won't do anything other than expose who you really are. When you get better with time, that means as time goes by, you get better with time. So you get better with time. That's what the expression is, to get better with time. Right. It's not, oh, I'm waiting for the right time. That doesn't exist. You're going to wait for the right time to
You
do
have to
what?
create the right time. Man.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
Right? That's it.
Every
And what-
time has to be the right time.
Tap in.
and that comes with being intentional. My example would be, if I have a crush on somebody, I'm being intentional. I like you. Here's why I like you. Be intentional. I want this job. Why do you want this job?
I gotta pay rent.
Sometimes that's what it takes. Like,
That's what it takes.
A lot,
That's
bro.
what
A
it
lot of
takes.
people are like, oh yeah, I'm the greatest lifeguard. Kids out here just passing the deep end test, not passing the deep end test, and the kids going to the deep end. A lifeguard is like, yo, I'm done at 6. Right? And that stuff is so real. But I get so encouraged when I hear people speak about, or when we're speaking about just walking in purpose, especially as men. Because today, my broski said it earlier too. He's like, there's an attack. There's an attack. When you walk in your, what's that, the word, it's a word like masculinity and alpha, all that jive. But when you walk into the essence of manhood, now you're being attacked for it because you're assertive. Because now you're stern. Because now you won't compromise your beliefs, your convictions, your values, and your upbringing. All of those things play a role in it. When he was speaking about double standard, that's exactly where my brain went. The double standard I would use is, if a girl says, I don't want you to come over. Okay. As a man, I have to hug it. Because she brought it to the table. I have to hug it. If she says, I don't want to kiss, you have to hug it. When a man says, shorty, I don't want to kiss you. Because you have other things. What are we talking about? I just don't want. I don't want
I
it.
don't want it.
Yeah, I do have other things, but hey, I don't want to kiss you right now.
You know,
Yo, this guy.
you know where Jigga
Not
got his
me,
name
though. I
from.
have zero things.
You know where he said
Zero.
Like,
Zero
Because you know what
things.
you're aiming for. Yeah, that's that purpose.
we're speaking about it. It's, if a guy says, "Listen, we can date. We need to abstain because my vision for us is marriage." The girl is all of a sudden it's, well, I don't know about that. What do you not know about? What do you not
It's
know?
the
about?
double standard.
If I don't want to talk to you, now I'm gay. I don't want to talk to you. I'm talking to someone else. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
It's something you did. Or why can't you look past? It has nothing to do with you. It's me. It's me.
George Costanza.
So when he was speaking about the double standards, that's exactly where my brain went to. He spoke about divorce and he spoke about the states being in debt, first off. For the most part, it's not men who are making the world go in debt. 60 to 70% of consumer debt is by women. If we're speaking about stuff like double standards, for instance, I'm going to get canceled. OP, I'm so sorry. So,
It's been a real, the beginning of the end, eh?
I'm saying
It's not even gonna air.
when we're speaking about stuff like that, you'd be surprised the kind of reactions that you would get.
Definitely.
Or it's, why can't women be leaders? Why are men always leaders? We want equality. The highest paying jobs, the jobs that require more labor, are done and made by men. Men move the needle. You juxtapose that with the explanation of why men are paid more, they don't want to hear it. They just see. If that's the case, may all the strong, independent women work construction. By Richmond and Adelaide right there by the movies.
Let him do
But
this.
I encourage you.
Said Richmond and
You know, I don't
Adelaide.
even know if they cross for real.
Nah,
There's a lot of
it's
movies.
that over there. You gotta have a team over there
And
for
that's
real.
why I'm like, yo,
Nah,
if
for
that's
sure.
the case. and
Work on
again,
Egg West, yo.
Nah, that's yo.
These are.
That's not.
They have nice little jerk spots over there. Egg West, not too bad. But I'm saying those are the conversations that my brother was enabling us to have. Until this day, he's still having. But that also falls into what you said, double standards. But that's what you said, awareness. That's what you said, maturity.
Yes, sir.
When you mix all of those, that amalgamation of those three words is going to honestly push the needle, move the needle as far as the conversations that we're really supposed to have.
Yeah.
Every single day it's the same things. The music video that came out that was controversial, the song that came out that was controversial, the manner in which somebody wore said item. I got in trouble for saying this. I got in trouble for doing that. And none of us are looking at the people speaking or the people in charge or on the platforms talking about things that are necessary to propel conversations. That's why before that, when we spoke about Black Lives Matter and all that jive, I'm like, bro, what did they really do? The slogan sure is great. Black lives do matter. What did they do?
Zilch.
Yeah. Zilch is this guy's word. I gotta start using that for real.
Zilch. Right?
Yeah, it's
That's
true.
why it's like when this guy's talking, as soon as he said double standard, but as soon as Jigga said awareness, self-awareness, and when you were speaking about maturity, about the children, I'm like, bro, all of these things are going through my brain, but my brain goes too fast from my mouth sometimes, for real. So I had to wait.
You need to
I saw
collect the
you
thoughts
were itching.
first.
Yeah.
You
I'm
was
not that
itching.
really
When you heard the
100%.
info, you were itching. You're like, oh, I gotta hold off.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's
Their
like
knowledge
my
to
structural
drop.
integrity for like my self-control was like decreasing.
I know. I saw.
See how I'm twitching?
I saw.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy.
Y'all don't get me in trouble though.
You gonna get us in trouble, man.
Nah,
We'll go down together. I'm cool with that.
No, we can't even
Real
drop
ones,
This
still.
will be like in the. They have to pay for this episode.
The Patreon.
The
exclusive.
Patreon. I was about to say Patreon. I was about to say
Patreon.
Patreon. That's
You gotta pay
tough.
for this.
That's tough.
Nah, bro, fuck that, man. It's
But yo,
going up,
look.
man. Everything's going up.
Patrik.
Yeah.
Rather, I should say Mr. Kabongo.
Wow. That's my father.
So tell us about growing up in the city.
Great experience. I would say obviously the lessons learned through unfortunate circumstances, or if I could say the necessary lessons learned through unnecessary circumstances, which I attribute as a blame most likely to myself, because certain things just weren't for me, and I chose to go see if they were. But I loved it, man. Growing up downtown, especially Spadina and Queen, spent a lot of my time with my friends in my neighborhood, playing basketball, comic books at Silver Snail when it was still there near.
It was right beside SVP, right?
It's where the
close
new
by.
TD Bank is now on Queen, next to HMV. I keep forgetting. Well, across from the HMV on the other side of the street, where the Foot Locker is. I keep forgetting the name of that little side street there.
Peter, John.
No, Peter's a little bit. No, it's. I think Soho is near where Shoppers is.
No, it might be Soho. No, it's Soho.
Oh, you're right. It's McCall.
Soho.
It's Soho. You're right. It is
Saw it
Soho.
yesterday.
Yeah. So
yeah.
there, man, I spent a lot of time there. Spent a lot of time playing video games, skateboarding. I always had a very creative mind growing up, but I never had the courage, I think, to put it from like pen to pad. Don't. And so, I loved it, especially with my siblings. Got into sports a lot, like played a lot of basketball for AAU, citywide, where all the neighborhoods have their teams, and it felt like it was a better time back then. I feel the city itself had a lot more to offer. There's a lot less politics, and it just felt more enjoyable. Obviously, growing up in the projects, there's all these different symptoms that do create some type of detriment, but I've been fortunate and blessed to have like great OGs that kind of stirred me the wrong way. Stirred me the right way. That stirred me the right way. And, I remember saying, yo, you sneak this in? Yo, fam. They stirred me the right way, and then like I said, I just learned a lot really fast. Like I saw, in the words of Nipsey Hussle, I caught a glimpse of that. No, that's not for me. And I was happy that I was really responsible too, right? Like I had to spend. My mom would work. My mom worked a lot. My dad, as well. My mom would always do these double shifts, and so I had to be really responsible at a young age. And the opportunities that I got to be responsible took away some of that fun time that most kids my age had. And so I'm very thankful for that, to be honest. Like at the time, I don't think I really noticed it, but then when I look back, that's where I started developing subconsciously, like my emotional intelligence and understanding how to deal with people, whether girl or boy. But man, the city of Toronto, I love it. Like I said, just being from downtown is just different than being from elsewhere. And not to take anything away from anyone that's from the ends or the west, but everybody likes to come downtown, and I always had that pride telling people, like, man, nah, you're from the GTA. I'm really from there. Like, I'm from downtown, and obviously the legendary McDonald's at Queen and Spadina.
I was gonna say
Can't be touched. It can't. Monumental.
Number one,
yeah, it's a monument for the city.
It really is.
It's a monument for the city.
It really is.
For real. It's
Nah, it really
sensational.
is.
Generational. Come on, fam. And so and the friends I made here, getting a chance to work there at the Foot Locker, working at the Foot Action, and just even with music, when I make music and I get to talk about the city, like no one could ever say that I'm not from there, like where it's at, because that's part of my identity. So, yeah, no, I growing up was amazing. I'm sure maybe back then, if you would ask me, I might have had mixed emotions about it, but just in hindsight, looking back, yeah, it was worth it. Loved it, every moment of it.
So how about? Well, you did say you went to school in the States, right?
Yeah, I went to Florida with my twin brother. Prep school. What was it called? Zion Lutheran Christian Academy. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a whole different experience. First, the hospitality there was amazing, and even there we were staying in the projects as well. But our coach, shout out to Coach Johnny, shout out Jamal. Our coach, if I'm not mistaken, he was in the Navy. So he just had a whole different disciplinary tactic.
Drill sergeant style.
Drill sergeant, yeah.
Yeah, you did not want to play with him. And growing up there was amazing. And I think it made me tougher too, because we used to go play outside. We used to play in the courts with the guys out there, and our coach would tell us, yo, after this time, don't be out there. For obvious reasons. And those guys made us tough. Like, you couldn't be a punk playing there. Like in Florida, and when you think about football, the physicality is just on like Florida has dogs. Like you got to be from the grit. Like you got to have that grit to survive out there. And so that really made me tough too. Like being able to face the contact and when you're playing basketball, the contact of and the respect too, because people there are very respectful as well. Like coming back from there is where I got the yes ma'am, yes sir, yes ma'am, and typically a lot of people. Sometimes I'll go to the bank, I'll say yes ma'am. It's like, oh, you don't have to call me ma'am. I'm not old. I'm like, it has nothing to do with you being old at all. It's
Common
just
courtesy.
it's common courtesy and respect, and that's what's weird. It's like, oh, I'm not a ma'am. It's like, yes ma'am, you are. And you're a sir. You know what I mean? And
You are,
but
yeah.
these are these principles in that community that I really loved. And obviously, you know, it's a very a black dominated culture, community. And so even that it felt resonated with. The only thing I didn't like is how hot it is there. Bro, I would put on lotion before going because you know what I'm saying.
Obviously, bro. You're not trying to be ashy out there.
Skin.
Yeah, you gotta moisturize.
My skin was melting. Like the lotion would melt off me. They're like, yo, you sweating? I'm like, nah, this is lotion. And I'm in a car, like I can't even look sick at school. Like I'm going in the van, there's no AC. I'm just looking like
Greasy.
I'm really dripped up. Like it's horrible. That's the only thing I didn't like. But everything else was amazing, man. It was dope. Yeah.
So, what grade?
I think
What grade was that?
it would be considered grade. It was grade 11.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
prep
this was
school grade 11.
what, scholarship or?
So they used the term scholarship, but it was not a scholarship.
So you were enticed by the word scholarship.
But see, now I'm trying to remember if I even had to pay for school. Full disclaimer, I got kicked out of the school. Yeah. Not because someone.
Full disclaimer.
Full disclaimer.
Yeah.
Because someone said something about my mom.
Oh, and you lost.
And but that's the thing. I didn't know about it. It's my brother that told me. My twin brother told me.
That's crazy.
And then, obviously when you're sibling, and I didn't have the wisdom I had at the time. I could have talked my brother out of it. But no, we just got into a scuffle and we got suspended. And then they told us that we were gonna get kicked out. But then what's weird is, so we're being told, oh, one person's telling us, oh, you're kicked out of school. So we're like, yo, what are we gonna do? Like, yo, fam, we're going home. And so my best friend's mom, like a childhood friend, his mom bought us tickets back. And then we get back there, and then we get calls from the school like, hey, where are your kids? We're like, what? You got kicked out? No. Who told them they were kicked out? We're like, yo, what? So we're still supposed to be in school. So we didn't even finish the year there. We just came back.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's messed up. It's weird, huh?
That's so strange.
Business is business.
Yeah, I guess so.
What can you say, man? So yeah, but it was one of my. I personally think it was one of my favorite experiences ever. Just living in a different country, like. Other than like my history teacher was my favorite teacher for sure. Not because he was cooking these U.S. kids, but just like. I found him to be a really intelligent guy, and he encouraged me a lot to think outside the box. But yeah, no. Obviously, I don't know if I would encourage anyone. I would encourage anyone to go outside of their comfort zone for sure. That's what it taught me a lot.
Yes. And right now, you reside in
Montreal, Quebec. Montreal, Quebec.
How did that happen? What made you go from being the top don in Toronto?
Wow, when I said the top don, there's only. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to think.
Montreal.
Is
There you go.
you guys, these are hot takes, by the way. I just finished telling someone the only person I want to battle rap is Kendrick Lamar.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I'm being very serious about that too.
The only person you would want
The
to?
only one person that I think
I
is.
thought you said you didn't want to.
No, what? I would
Bro,
battle
I
Kendrick
swear on
Lamar.
my life, I was watching that clip
You
over
thought I
and
said
over last
didn't?
night, and I thought you said you
No,
didn't
because
want
I
to
think
battle.
so. What happened is he asked me who would I battle rap, and I said anybody.
You said anybody.
Then I said no, wait.
One
The
guy.
only person I would. There can only be one. It's Kendrick Lamar.
That's crazy.
Because sonically, in terms of the lane, I feel like I'm the only artist like that in Canada, just alone. Like if you really let's really. And I'm not saying this to big myself up, but if you really think about
I'd
it
love for you to big
musically,
yourself up as
if
well.
you think about it musically, there isn't anyone. Because let's be honest, in the city, or everyone wants to sound like someone or resemble someone aesthetically,
Yes, sir.
right? Like people want to be the next Kanye, and I know you're thinking about it too. People want to be the next Lil Uzi Vert. They want to be the next NBA YoungBoy. They want to be the next Lil Durk. They want to be the next Chief Keef. They want to be the next Jay-Z. They want to be the next Drake. They want to be the next Nav. But, and I can only speak about Canada alone, but I can confidently say no one is in that lane sonically, other than myself.
Okay.
And I want people to watch this and actually go check it out. Because typically people will sound like Kanye, like Travis Scott.
Yeah, he tries to. Yeah.
A lot of people want to sound like Travis Scott. Let's be very aware of that.
Yeah.
And I do it by comparison of everything aesthetically, not because I think that's what they're actually trying to do. Like there's an artist from Vancouver, Boslin.
Not familiar.
So if you go listen to his music, it sounds very Travis Scottish. Not because he's not talented, but sonically, if you hear it first, it's the first thing that resembles it, right? And then when you listen to like the trap artists in the city, you can kind of nitpick even in their authenticity as people. That's different than sonically. But if you go listen sonically, you can kind of match it to someone from Atlanta, someone from New York, maybe even someone from the UK, even someone from Montreal. But when we're talking about that content lane, you include the bars, you include the songwriting, you include the sonicality of it. I don't know if sonicality is a word. I believe strongly that I'm the only person that is in that lane. And that's why,
these are very big words.
100%. And if you really think about it, that's why I'm only recognized as something or something else in different groups of settings. No one's going to come out and say, yo, P's the best rapper in the city. They're never going to say that because I'm too much of an anomaly to be accepted by that conversation. But if you come to my show, you're like, yo, this guy is tough. If you listen to the record, yo, this guy is tough. Like, for example, like you listen to Limelight, right? And you said, yo, this is my favorite song.
Easily.
Right? But that's a song I dropped after 2 years of not really doing anything musically. Right. Like, I dropped Entitled, dropped NFP in 2019. And then I took a really long hiatus. Then I dropped, like, singles here and there. I dropped a project. And I always disappear. Like, this is the most consistent I've been because I've been trying to figure out a unique sonically, I need to sound like myself.
You're trying to find your own sound right now.
Yeah, exactly. And I finally got there where I have. And most times when people compare it to me, they don't compare the sonicality. They compare how I, like, my voice and the cadences. Like, sometimes I hear, for the longest time, I've always heard the A$AP Rocky and Joey Badass.
For you?
Yeah. Which, see, and for you,
want to know,
like,
you want to know
how?
who I would
Yeah.
give you a similar,
Yeah.
Boss from Dreamville?
I do.
That's the vibe I get.
This is the first time I ever heard that.
Personally love Boss.
Yeah, that's the first time I heard that.
So when I heard Limelight, I was like, oh fuck, this is giving me like Boss vibes.
Sick.
But clearly you're not even going for that.
I'm not. Well, that's the thing too. I'm not going for anything. And that's what I'm talking about.
I rate that the most though.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Your own lane towards,
exactly.
Your music.
Like I just had a conversation with one of the guys on my team. He's like, and I can't explain the whole context of it, but he says, and kudos to you because you carved your own lane. Exactly. Yeah, and that's why you guys won't see my music yet and I say yet because it's game time. It's coming.
Yes, sir.
But you guys, you know what I'm saying, contract year. It's a players league.
Yes,
it's a players league. Yes, but you won't see it. You won't see it because I don't want to sign to record labels. Mm-hmm. I don't want to sign these management deals with these record labels. Not because I don't like them, but they have nothing to offer me. Like, I'd rather slave independently and figure it out and build something for myself and the people that are with me. Right. And if a collaborative opportunity comes, that's different. We can have the conversation, but a lot of people take these deals because they like to have their picture on the Spotify playlist campaign. They like to have their picture and done that square. I don't.
It's more clout.
They like and sometimes I don't even want to call it clout, more the visibility. Fam, everybody wants to post that picture on Instagram and then get comments and likes on it.
It's a super
but it doesn't
hard
really,
pick.
in the words of Andrew Tate, but it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, that's how.
Boom, canceled.
It does. Yeah, for real, 100%. No, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Because at some point, that picture, that billboard's not going to be up there.
It's going to be gone, yeah.
So for me, it's, what are we really talking about? Rap-wise, I don't think anyone in the city alone, I don't think anyone in the city raps better than me. And for me, that's a fact.
In terms of bars, I have one person.
Who do you think?
He's
Who
similar.
do you think?
He's similar to you.
Who do you think?
His name is Self.
I never heard of him. Actually.
Exactly. I know you haven't.
Yeah, send
But
me his stuff.
I
Shout out
actually
to
will.
Self.
Yeah,
Send
yo.
me his stuff.
Oh my God, we
Send me
need a
his stuff.
collabo.
Oh,
Send me
a
his
collab
stuff.
would be crazy.
Oh
Send me
my
stuff.
God.
I'll listen to
Yo,
it.
Shaking it podcast. You heard it here first. Patrik Kabongo and Self. We're gonna get it to fucking happen.
You
man.
know, so
crazy.
like bar wise, I don't see anyone as
Comparing,
to
eh?
be compared to me, especially in the city alone. Two, songwriting wise, I don't think anyone else can compare to me.
Yeah.
Because and I say that respectfully because I can write a pop record.
Talk your shit, bro. Talk your
I can
shit
write a
right
pop record. I just haven't released them yet.
now. Yeah.
Crazy.
I can write an R&B record. I've written songs for other artists like in Montreal and stuff. And I'm even right now trying to write a whole EP for an European artist. I can write those things, but you have to build. And I'm not saying these things to be cocky or to make takes. It's not that. It's just for the longest time I gave everyone the breathing room. I took these hiatuses and I gave the breathing room. And I'm looking and I'm like,
Why did I give the breathing room?
from the perspective of me as a competitor, I'm like, what did you guys do with that breathing room?
Not a
Zilch.
goddamn thing. Zilch.
Right? and be mindful too, I'm one of the few artists, if not, I don't have no features.
Because you're too damn good.
It's not even just that. It's just because one, I don't think I have one feature with Just John. Shout out to my boy Just John. But that's like an old song too, right? And I just learned if I'm not spiritually in tune with, if that person and I spiritually are not in tune, it's not because you're popular and I may be popular that I should make a song with you. Right? I just want to build, I really want to build great art. Like I don't care about the whole, like people come to me and say, yo, I get 7 DMs every 2 days. People ask me, how'd you get verified? Because my follower count is below 10,000.
Take this in. Not to cut you off. I'm so sorry.
Please do.
I was gonna remember how you were texting me, right?
Yeah.
So I forgot that we were texting information.
Yeah.
So I went onto IG
Yeah.
to message you.
Yeah.
In the first thing it said, because we don't have a conversation on one of the accounts.
Yeah, the threads, yeah.
The first thing it said was, ask this person why they're verified. That was like
That's crazy.
a prong that
That's
I got.
real programming. That's crazy.
I was just like, what the fuck?
That's the Matrix.
Number one.
That's the
Yeah,
Matrix.
yeah,
That's
How'd
the
you get
Matrix.
verified? Nah, don't even say nothing.
Nah, I will explain it though, because I'm tired of people DMing me. Because you know,
Yo, everyone watch this shit now.
nah, for real. Because people message me.
But just know, it might not even be their fault.
No, 100%.
IG literally
that's true.
forced me.
It could be, especially for verified accounts. Maybe they do that for like a conversation starter.
Maybe.
Like, yo, this is the best way to get.
Yeah,
how to
it
get
said
verified.
the most
Suggested.
suggested
Yeah.
reply.
Instagram's becoming like YouTube.
Facts.
Yeah, real
Yeah.
shit.
Facts, bro. The most suggested. I think it might have said conversation starter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it after. For
Yeah.
you.
No, look it
But
up.
yeah.
No, I mean, other than attributing it to God for sure, like first.
Amen.
But yeah, have to. And even when I'm talking about my abilities, tell them, I was like, that's why most times I don't put out a lot of stuff. Like I have to pray about that stuff. I can't just, if I try to control my own narrative too much, I feel like I'm gonna end up like a lot of different artists. And they're not even aware that there's something spiritually occurring that's causing that, you know? So in terms of the verification thing, till this day I don't know. I was on my Instagram. I posted, no, not even. I was on my Instagram trying to see, okay, what should I post this and not post that? I didn't post anything. 30 minutes later, I go on my SoundCloud and I go and I release this track called Phone Call. And then I go back on Instagram, maybe 10, 20 minutes later, and I get a message from my cousin tagging me in a bunch of stuff like, yo, you made it. I'm like, what are you talking about? And at this point, I'm just reposting it because he's reposting the track. So I'm thinking it's about the song. And then my twin brother does it, and I repost the song. And then another person does it. I'm like, yo, okay, the song must be tough. Lo and behold, it's because I had the blue check, and I didn't know. I didn't realize I had the blue check until the end of the day. When I went on my account, I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh, I got the blue check. And I had 3,000 followers.
When you got the blue check.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And so I have people messaging me like, oh, how'd you get verified? So one guy thought that I paid for it. Listen, There's a lot. I need more help from marketing. I'm not gonna pay for a blue check.
Definitely not.
I'm gonna spend money on other things. So I get that, and now it's people think that, and yes, I understand why it's important, the validity of it, but that blue check is gonna become obsolete. Everyone's gonna have it at some point.
That's true.
To be very honest, everyone's gonna have it. It's kind of like when Instagram models. I don't know if you guys ever seen this. It makes me laugh all the time. My search engine will populate Instagram models because I have friends that are models, and I'll go like their pics, and then they'll start showing me these different girls. I'm like, yo, I don't know who this is. And what kills me is when I look at the description and it says public figure.
What does that even mean?
And that, what do you mean by that? And that's where that's what I'm talking about. What does that mean?
I don't know.
What makes you a public figure? So
It's a scam.
is that so? Watch out now! Watch out now! You talking about that talk? You talking that real? And it's that, and it's just to be reminded too that I actually the one thing I love about Instagram is I actually like posting pictures, and I like posting my content, like because it encourages me to create art. Like a lot of my reels, I do them myself, like these little digital things where I post them, you know, and I've never really been someone that's strong in that domain, and now I'm learning to do it. So I love that I'm learning a new skill. But in terms of I don't care how many followers I have. I don't care how many followers the next person has. I don't care how many likes, comments the other person gets. And even with my peers, I think out of all my peers that do music, I think I have the least followers. I'm still gonna support my peers. I'm still gonna share their work, share their stuff. And I think it's just that. Like even now when I'm talking about how God-fident I am, it has nothing to do with taking it away from other people. But fam, if no one else is gonna believe in me, you better believe I'm gonna believe in myself.
For sure.
So
For sure.
no one can, and again, anyone can dispute it. It's subjective, of course. Because someone could say, well, I have more streams than you. Yeah, it's true. You're absolutely right. But I bet you I get paid out more than you do. Because I don't let someone own it, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. We can always pick a topic and make it about something. And I just like to make it about the art. Let's not make it about the money. Let's not make it about the views. Let's make it about the art. Like who's more diverse sonically? Who's able to do something different? Who can drop something and it doesn't sound like the last thing they did? Or you can say, oh yeah, I can see the growth. I can hear the growth.
Based off our conversation, it's you.
Hey, you said it, not me. Hey, he said it, not me. But no, that's the parameter of what I mean, right? Like even for me, when I look at artists that I can't say artists now inspires me because I try to not to listen as much because I'm working on my album and I don't want to be inspired by something else subconsciously. But a lot of times I look at one who's consistent and who do I feel like has grown sonically. And a lot of the times you could tell who's grown by content. Like, what are they talking about? But then again, a lot of the, like for me, a lot of stuff that I write about are life experiences or someone else's life experience or an observation. And not everyone is a great observer, you know? Sometimes people are just going to talk about what they know naturally and what they think works for them. So again, all of it is subjective, but I encourage my peers to really dabble into the art. Like how much do you really love the art? How much time do you really spend sitting down? Like I have this game with this guy. We'll listen to tracks and we'll try to identify, what sample is that? Like if I don't know it, okay, I gotta go study and find out who that is. That's why I use my Shazam, by the way, to find out who did this. Then I go on Google. Okay, look at the song. I go look at who wrote it, who are the songwriters, who are this and that. Then that's how I found out about Janae Aiko. I found out she was on. I don't know if you guys know what Cocaine 80s is.
Yeah.
So yeah, Janae Aiko is credited as a songwriter in Cocaine 80s. So is No ID. And if you guys know ID, if you guys have an idea of who No ID is, you would know that he's one of the people that are the most responsible for Kanye's success.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
And but how many rappers know that? And I'm just gonna leave it at rappers. Not a lot, right? So that's why it's like, if you have a love for the art and you walk, and obviously when I speak about the purpose, like J Body was saying, is you're purposeful of what you're doing. like that's why I release one song a month. I could drop a song every 2 weeks, 3 songs every month, but it's like I don't give the audience enough time to really gravitate to it. But a lot of people have the fear of missing out. Like, oh, if I don't drop this now, then I might lose some listeners, or maybe I'll drop this, I get more listeners. So so it's just about also knowing what your strengths are and knowing what your weaknesses are, and you can't be afraid of your weaknesses.
No.
Like you gotta identify them and turn those into strengths.
Facts.
Yo, bro.
I rate that.
For real. Some people, a lot of people do this, right? You bring your resume, you apply for a job, you have no qualifications in. Buy based on your resume. And then you go there, they throw you in the fire, you just learn. Same thing. Baby, you learn to swim, throw your ute in the pool.
I drowned.
You figured it out. Nah, fam, it's a deadly game.
Oh,
yeah, sink or swim is the name of the game, brother. But yeah, so it's just that. And that's why, but I will say, I appreciate that I can tell there's more creatives in the artistry, but I don't appreciate how saturated it is now.
Yo,
It's tough. It's been on point.
season 2 is off to a great start.
Came with the vibes.
Crazy
Vibes.
I think I was off for that, but I might have got it.
I like that.
He did not get it.
He's just, you didn't get it. Yeah, he didn't get it.
He didn't get it.
Nah, man, it's been.
He was
Everyone pack your shit up and leave right now. Including you, Solomon, because I think you got this one.
Nah, bro, it's
That's
been
so
great.
fire, yo. I love that. That is
Nah,
fucking
man,
beautiful.
be
You guys
around.
are synchronized. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
100%. Like Justin and the boys, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah,
fire.
100%.
Crazy.
Nah, it's been a dope episode, and like the conversations are good, and whoever watches it, I really hope people watch this episode and say, you know what, we need to have these conversations.
For sure.
100%, man.
We need to have these conversations, so
For sure, man.
for me it's exciting, man, and you guys, again, I'm so honored to be here.
Appreciate it, man.
The platform is dope. A lot of you guys can see the entire aesthetics of it, but
We're trying, man.
it's tough. It's tough.
We're trying.
It's tough.
We're about to get a neon light over there.
These guys even gave these guys the anime and the WWE championship in the back. Spinners. Spinners.
Give him a little spin.
Yeah, man. So,
Actually, I have one more question
Yeah.
before we wrap up. You said your name is Patrik Kabongo.
yeah.
Do you have any relation to Mike Kabongo?
Yeah.
The basketball player?
He's family related to us.
That's
Yeah, 100%.
crazy.
100%.
He was a sick baller.
Yeah, he was tough.
Wow.
He is tough. Because I'm sure when he hoops, he still gives guys problems. Even our twin brother, too, like Christian Kabongo. Same thing.
He's nice.
Yeah. Our entire family,
rate
we're
it.
fortunate enough to be gifted with the athletic gene,
Yo, I'm not going to lie. No,
Don't say
I'm going
that,
to keep
don't
it
say
a
that.
buck right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because you're Congolese, man.
Most likely.
I'm not lying.
Most likely.
I swear to you.
Honestly, most
Every
likely.
Yeah, real
Congolese
Most
man
likely.
I've ever
They're
met has
decent.
been
Most likely.
monstrous.
They're D's still.
Different D's.
Diesel. They don't
Yeah,
go to
fam.
the gym. They're just
Yeah.
diesel.
Yeah.
We're in there.
I gotta
Nah,
respect
bro.
it. Like it's
100%.
actually crazy, man.
Yeah.
Jeremy Cotton was from Congo. as well.
Jeremy Kama.
He's the 90.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jiggy.
Shout out to Jiggy.
That's
What's his name,
crazy.
Jeremy?
So Jeremy,
Okay.
we call him Jiggy.
Yeah,
We were
he
younger,
knows
was
him.
in grade 5.
Knows him his
he's
entire
6.
life, yeah.
Yeah, he's like my little brother.
Yeah.
Right now
I
he's in
think
Montreal.
He's in Montreal, yo.
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah,
Jeremy,
he
man.
is.
Shout out
He
Jeremy.
is. Yeah, who knows him as well?
I rate it.
Kevin? Kevin Eucor, he knows him too,
Kevin,
no?
he knows him. They're boys. They're boys.
Yeah. He was, oh, wow. He was supposed to check me. He didn't come check me. I appreciate I got to remember that.
Yeah.
Jiggy!
I first met Jeremy at Afrofest. Right before he came
The
to
place
grade
to be.
9.
The place to
He's
be.
like, oh, I speak French. I'm like, yo, who's this guy? This guy speaks French. I rate
That's
it.
interesting.
That
Yeah.
was cool.
Nah, man, it's tough.
Went to Marshall, yeah. Small world.
Yeah, we
100%.
did.
Okay.
I went to Marshall. Great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy.
I think he's working at the bank. And then we grew up together. I think our parents knew each other.
Yeah. Family and friends. Yep.
Rate it.
Most Congolese families, it's typically like that for us Congolese too.
Rate
Yeah.
it. I rate that, man.
That's good though, man. That's good community right there.
Yeah, let me
Good
plug myself
people,
in
man.
one
Good
more
people.
time, you know what I'm saying? X10PK, don't forget, you know what I'm saying? At X10PK, X10PK. Just dropped a couple of records, I ain't gonna talk about it. Make sure you go check it out. Bleed's the most recent, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, guys, thank you for having me, man.
Yo,
For
thank
real.
you for coming
Nah,
on.
this
man.
was tough.
You
This
started,
was
you
tough.
started it off.
Nah, this is
perfectly,
hey.
man. Perfect.
Sometimes you gotta have a Kobe, you know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm Kobe, I'm just saying.
You gotta
Nah,
have
he's
it,
Kobe
saying?
still.
Jeez!
He's Kobe still.
Jumping up, Jim.
But who's the MJ?
Only you guys are gonna be able to tell. By the way, I think Kobe's better than MJ, so.
Oh, what?
yeah, Confidently say.
Alright, yo.
That man said smoking on the finest.
You are smoking the
That
finest.
man said I'm smoking.
Crack.
Oh, shout out
Gilleon, let's take
boy,
it away.
Shout
Let's
out
give
to
him
my
the,
boy Julian.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Shout out to my boy Julian's brand Jungle. Shout out to VG Volley Garçon. I'm gonna leave it there.
Hey, he
Yeah,
got
I
the
gotta-
artistic French
I
going
gotta
on.
plug in my peoples, man.
Shout out to Jay behind the scenes.
Jeez.
Shout out to Jay Kabongo. You already know. He's in
Little
the
bro,
building.
little Brody.
Small, come
Do it. Come in the
You
yeah,
know,
come in the
keep
camera.
twice in the camera.
Jay. Don't let the smile fool you. He will take your life. I'm playing.
And with that being said,
Yes, sir.
TikTok, YouTube, IG, Spotify, Apple. We are on all of that.
Poppin'.
Shaking It Podcast.
Shakin'.
Season 2 is here.
Yup.
And honestly, Gilleon, it's a new slogan. So
It's a new slogan.
It used
Our
to
last
be-
one was a little too long still.
It was very long, but this one's short and sweet, and it's literally shake it till you make it. man.
Shake it
Shake it till you make it.
guys already
We
know what it
shaking it
is.
till we make it, man. That's
Here we
really
are,
how
man.
it goes.
I'm just gonna say it's quite misleading for the stripper community.
Nah, but a lot of them are making it, man. I
Yeah.
gotta respect them.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the strippers. If you wanna hop on,
But
we're ready.
if you're making it, are you shaking it?
You heard that?
Existential, don't do it. Don't do it. We're not gonna break it down. We're not
Yeah,
gonna break
we're
it
gonna
down
be
now.
here for another 5 hours.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you again, guys. Shake it till you make it. Season 2, we here. We coming strong. You know what the fuck it is.
That was good. That was good.
All this music in my ear gets me home for the night.
No spicy,
I
only
get out the
regular.
space
Made it.
in my mind.
You trying to say? I
Focus
think I'm
on the
sick.
better things in life.
This guy's shaking it for real.
Get the barbecue sauce, get the roll, tie yourself up, I'm a base dude like the rotisserie chicken.
Everyone's got something to say, so come through and say it, players. Shaking It Podcast.